Deep in the heart of Eryri is the charming village of GELERT. Well known for its steam railway, its old stone bridges and picturesque setting, it's also a place that inspired a well-known Welsh folktale that is developed to explain the interesting place name. GELERT means the grave of Gelert. The folktale in question has even been described as the most popular associated with Wales, and has inspired many to make a sort of pilgrimage to the supposed gravesite of a fearless and loyal companion. According to the tale, Gelert was the greyhound of one of the best known Welsh rulers, Llywelyn ab Iorwerth, or Llywelyn Fawr, Llywelyn the Great, a real historical figure that died in the year 1240, and the most powerful Welsh ruler of his day that can be thought of as dominating Wales for over 40 years. In the 19th century, the writer Glasenus gave us this account. Llywelyn, the son of Iorwerth Droendun, sometimes called Llywelyn the Great, was a brave prince of the 12th century. He and his family were accustomed to spend their summers in Eryri, and while they delighted themselves in the innocent sports of the Welsh of those days, hunting the roe, the fox and hare, etc., were considered excellent pastimes in olden times. The prince had an affectionate dog by the name of Gelert, which was looked upon as the leader of every chase. One day, however, when they had gone out for a day's enjoyment, Gelert could not be seen among the dogs. They could not make out what had become of him. While they were out, the nurse took it into her head to visit Dog of Thee, on the side of Moel Hebog, taking one of the servants, probably, with her. When Llywelyn and his retinue were returning home, close by the mansion, Gelert ran to meet him, covered with blood and wagging his tail. The princess fainted. The prince rushed into the nursery, but alas, when they entered, the place was streaming with blood, and the cradle was turned upside down, leaving no signs of the child. Infuriated, Llywelyn seized his sword and drove it through poor Gelert, who gave a loud yell and died. The dying yell of the dog woke the child. One of the monks ran to the cradle, lifted up the coverings, and raised up the child in the presence of the onlookers, hool and hail. Lifting up the blankets, they discovered beneath a great ravenous-looking wolf, terrible to behold, even as a lifeless carcass. But the poor dog was now as dead as he, and the prince was mourning in a flood of tears, this adornment of faithfulness Gelert. He commanded that the dog should be buried with honour in a verdant spot nearby, and caused a large stone to be placed in his grave to mark his resting place. The stone remains to this day in Dol Llean, near the village, which together with the whole parish was after this called GELERT. There we are, an extremely sad story. Other versions I've heard that said that Llywelyn never smiled again after that. But don't worry, this is a folk tale, it's not real history, probably never happened, and in fact we've got good evidence that this stone was only put here in the early 1800s. But nevertheless, a good tale. And in reality, the Gelert in question is thought to derive from a saint's name in the 8th century. Now, as you can probably tell, we had absolutely stinking weather when we visited, and I almost missed this. I'm glad I didn't, because we went inside this ruined barn and we found Gelert after all, or a great statue of him at least, looking out onto Mynydd Sigyn.